right, welcome in to the program. I'm Rob Sanders. This is we still call it the rundown. I'm calling it run it down though, is what I call it, because it feels like I'm just running down bullshit every day here. Anyway, if you would like to join us here on the program, we have the link up in a moment, but there's some stuff I want to talk about today. First of all, like and subscribe to the show. Not only for the stuff that I put out here, ladies and gentlemen, but for the stuff that my cohort, the ever entertaining Carolina Jackpot, puts out. We love Jackpot here. I tell you what, he puts out some cool stuff. All right. There will be no Saturday live stream this week. So for those of you who do not, who follow along, but you're not really following along, maybe you're just fucking high. I was going to watch the live show, but I was high. Yeah, you're high. There is no live show this weekend. I'm sorry. Alabama is going down to the land of the Gumps, as they're called. All right? And he's going to weather the storm and head down there for what is now a hungry Alabama team because they got their ass kicked by a bunch of nerds. Bunch of fucking nerds. Yesterday was a day and Sunday was a day where we could talk a little bit about how disgustingly awful Tennessee was on Saturday night, where their quarterback was a fucking eunuch. Go and look up the word eunuch for some of you who don't get it. It's basically a Parisian slave that was castrated so that he wouldn't fuck the queen while the king was out fighting wars. It's basically what a eunuch was. That's what one of the ends of it is there, okay? The Tennessee quarterback, who, by the way, is 8th in the conference in passing yards, they're paying him $8 million a year to be mediocre, wouldn't even try to throw the fucking ball in the end zone. If you're a Tennessee fan, you should not be frustrated with me for bringing this out. You should be frustrated with your coaching staff. They did not tell that young eunuch, hey, eunuch, throw the fucking ball in the end zone. Don't just run out of bounds like an asshole. What the hell's going on? I went back and watched that play probably 5 or 6 times. Just because I was like, was there something that I'm missing? He had more than enough opportunities to throw the ball into the end zone, at least give somebody a fucking chance. This guy could have gotten a pass interference call and gotten another play and then gotten themselves at a point where they could have gotten out of that damn Hog City with a win and left Sam Pittman with his triple D tits covered in sweat, looking around like, what the fuck just happened to us? He could have done that, but he chose to run out of bounds and completely shit on the season for Tennessee. Anyway, that's what we were talking about yesterday. That was some of the stuff that we had there. But you know what? I've got to hit the folks from Alabama. And you know what? You don't even need me to do it. Will says the game shouldn't have come down to that 4th down play. You know what? That is a passive way of looking at it, sir. That's like saying, I told the bitch to make my eggs right 4 different times and she fucked them all up 4 times. It's kind of the way that looks there. And Brock with a great comment. Brock's stealing my thunder. Joe Milton did the same thing against Ole Piss. Yes, there's that. Anyway, let's bury Tennessee today because Nico buried them anyway in the 4th quarter in the land of the hog, in the land of triple D titty Sam Pittman. All right? Here's the deal, though. We have to talk about Alabama for a second. I don't have to tell you how bad they are. I have one 60-second clip of Paul Feinbaum, who is a disgusting troll human being. But if you want the temperature of the Alabama fan base put into words in English where you can actually understand it, you have to go to Paul Feinbaum because he lived in those trailers down there in Alabama and was there for, 30 years covering them, writing stuff in crayon and blood and everything else so that people can understand it down there, putting it in coloring books so that they knew what was going on. This is what he said on the Matt Berry podcast. Matt Berry, by the way, who you may not know, is a friend of the program. How do you ask that? I used to produce Matt Berry's show here in Columbia when he was on WLTX. I used to help write his production and all that stuff, and he's a cool guy. I love Matt Berry to death. Anyway, here's Matt Berry's 60 seconds from that show, just to give you a snapshot of the Alabama fan base right now. Listen to this. Oh, wait a minute. So you guys can't hear what I'm playing here. That is strange. I am sorry. Hold on a second. It should be going right through there. I don't understand why it's doing that. That does not make sense. Hold on a second here, because we'll go about it this route, because I've got a separate way to do it. This is bugging the shit out of me because I set this up correctly and now it's acting stupid. This is worth your time, though. Hold on, please. We'll play it right here. And let me make sure that I've got the settings right here, because we just have another computer that's ready to go because we have a backup plan. All right, here we go. Let's try this. Let's try this again.
The Nick Saban era is over because Nick Saban would have never lost that game, never did lose that game. And Matt, people talk about the La Monroe game in 07. That was, he inherited a 6-7 team that was 500. This is the worst loss I have ever seen by a quality Alabama team. I've seen bad Alabama teams lose to MTU and to Monroe, but I've never seen a great Alabama team lose like this. And it is sending shockwaves through the Alabama ecosystem right now, because for all the good that we felt a week ago, the questions that were lingering deep in the crevices of Alabama fans' minds are starting to pop up. And people are reminding us that even at Washington, you saw these very bizarre calls, and you know what I'm talking about. I think there was a game against Arizona State, was it last year? There were other games that Washington barely escaped.
All right, so let me break that down for you. What he's talking about, and I'm sure everybody heard that, right? I hope so. I'm sorry about the screw up there at the beginning. First of all, does anybody want to take a guess at what DeBoer's record was at Washington? Anyone? Well, let me help you. He was 25-3. He lost 3 fucking games his entire career at Washington. Wait, what? Yeah, one of them was the national championship game to Michigan. He lost the game to Arizona State, and I've got the other one written down. But either way, those are his 3 losses. These Alabama fans are looking back at an Arizona State game where a call went against them and talking about, oh, well, he's obviously a flawed coach because he got away with a win there. Yeah, that's how sick the Alabama fan base is right now. And I have to be honest with you. I have to apologize to the Tennessee man, because I've said by far, you guys are the most delusional motherfuckers on the planet. No, sir. You don't hold an absolute candle to anything that these Alabama fans are right now in the world of X and everything else. They are bat shit crazy. They're wanting to like lampoon this guy for losing one game. Now, is DeBoer a good coach at Alabama? I don't know. But I can tell you this. Some of the stuff that was going on that field with certain defensive players losing their gizzards and kicking guys and pushing guys' heads into the ground and shit, I absolutely 1,000,000% assure you that shit would not have happened with Nick Saban. He would have cut their nuts off on the fucking field. Okay? Now, you may not be able to coach like Nick Saban does anymore. No one may be able to do that. You've got to have so much love and everything else. And I'm not talking Shane Beamer type love where we love a Donald Fortune when a Donald Fortune fucked us with no lube in the Ole Miss game. There's a difference between great coaching and the ability to nurture young men. You got to have both. So there's that. Max with a good comment here. Alabama's always been that way. They'll fire coaches if they win 10 games. Championships are nothing at Alabama. Look, I can understand having a standard. I can completely get that. Okay? Some of these coaches don't want to do that. They want to, they want to keep their jobs making $6 million a year to go 7-5, and you're supposed to thank them for it. Alabama fans are completely spoiled, though, because they think that everything is supposed to be the way that Saban had it. There is no Saban anymore. When I look at the rest of the Alabama schedule, and I have them up in front of me here, I'll pull it up right this second. So Alabama has pull up, make sure I give you the exact rundown on their stuff here. They play South Carolina this week. They go on the road to Tennessee, who, by the way, is a hungry-ass team right now after their embarrassing loss to the land of sweaty tits. They also will play Missouri at home, another team that the dork's going to have to get them squared away, followed by a trip to LSU. You think Brian Kelly would not knife that motherfucker if he could? In a nanosecond. Then they play the Mercer Bears, followed by a road trip to Oklahoma, and then the Iron Bowl. Would anybody here be shocked if Alabama went 9-3 after the way they played at Vanderbilt? Would anybody be shocked? I wouldn't. Absolutely would not. We had fun goofing on Tennessee a little bit. We had fun goofing on Mizzou. Alabama gets their turn now. How in the fuck do you lose to Vanderbilt? I'm not taking anything away from those nerds. They got their shit together. But if I look at this Alabama schedule and they let a team like Vanderbilt, a team that lost to Georgia State, outgame them, Alabama has a way of they could motherfuck me. How, you ask? Because I've said South Carolina's not winning a game in October for the second year in a row. If South Carolina goes down there and outgains them and beats them in fucking Tuscaloosa, they may cook that motherfucker on the field. That may happen. I'm just saying. Crazier things have happened. You think it's not that crazy to think that South Carolina couldn't go down there and win? Make sure that you quote me correctly. I did not say South Carolina's going to win. I'm just saying, after you have showed me that you could lose to Vanderbilt, I cannot trust you as a program anymore. I cannot do it. So there's that. Jay says, who's more likely to lose 3 in a row, Bama or the Vols? At least one will go 2-3 in this stretch since they play each other next week. That's going to be interesting too. And Bulldog Terror is correct. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Vandy Dandy, they get to come in here and run their mouths now. And Angry Bama's going to crush South Carolina just like Ole Miss did. You know, you may be right about that. But I'm just saying, when you go and lose to what we were told was the worst Vanderbilt, was supposed to be the worst Vanderbilt team in a generation. I heard that at SEC Media Days. There was no hope for that Vanderbilt team. The talk of the town is Diego Pavia. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. If I mispronounced his name, he has the right to come and pop me on the nose for it, because the way he played and the way he does play, he deserves to have his name pronounced correctly. I can tell you this. I read some stuff that all three of Vanderbilt's quarterbacks transferred out. So they didn't know who the hell their quarterback was going to be. They got this guy like last second from New Mexico, and he's come in and set the world on fire. Does he have great numbers? No, but you know what he does? He wins. Absolutely wins. Pavia. Thank you, Rob has an SEC bias. Anyway, I can't trust you as a program right now, Alabama. You used to be the program that we could trust. Yes, they're not going to go out and lose to Vanderbilt. Come on. That's not going to happen. Now it's, can they beat South Carolina? Yeah, I mean, they should. On paper, they should. South Carolina should, I mean, you know, I'm going to pick in our Pick'em Challenge tomorrow night, I'm going to pick Alabama to cover the spread. But I had to think about it a minute. There were things that went through my head like, oh my God, could this happen again? Could we get another shot in the face? Randall says, to be honest here, Vanderbilt's a better team than South Carolina. Look, we're going to find out here in a couple of weeks. If you look at South Carolina's schedule, you can make an argument that they could go 4-8. Gamecock fans don't want to hear that shit, but you can make an argument. They have Wofford on their schedule, which they should win that game. They just have better athletes, but the rest of the games on that schedule, I don't know. I mean, I guess you would look at Oklahoma, who has the worst offense in the SEC. Maybe that's a game they can get on the road. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe that's a game. And the other game is Mizzou, because Mizzou looks like they're the shits right now. Those are the other two possible wins. The other ones I expect them to lose by double digits across the board. Do not come at me with the Clemson stuff. We won the last time we played there. You didn't have fucking Spencer Rattler this time. You didn't have him. That's not going to help you. You're not going to have a guy who can go out and throw picks like Rattler did and then get off his ass and go win a game. You don't have that. So there's that. Rob has an SEC's bias, says we're beating Vandy, Wofford, Oklahoma, and probably Mizzou. So he's got them winning 4 more games this season. We are definitely bookcasing that. That is not happening. Let me make sure I get the screenshot on that one. Holy shit, sir. Let's put this one into perspective here. There you go. We'll make sure I add that to the Bookcase of Accountability. Bookcase of Accountability is online at robandkaleshow.com. Also in the links section down there, you have got a link to the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge for this week. If you would like to pick, or if you're already in the competition, you should go ahead and pick. You can't get in it now. Bowl Pick'em Challenge is coming soon. For those of you who are new to the program, we have new people coming in that I've never seen before. So I'll explain the Bowl Pick'em Challenge very simply. We pick all of the bowl games against the spread. And over the holidays, you can watch and see where you are in the standings. That's how it works. That's definitely going on the bookcase. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you the link here if you want to join the program. I cannot do an absurdly long show today, but I want to give you guys an opportunity with the stuff that I've put out there. I think that's one of the most embarrassing losses in Alabama history, the entire history of the program. Definitely, as I'm picking something from my salad out of my teeth here, definitely in the modern era. Definitely the modern era. All right, if you'd like to join the show, have at it. You can support the show by PayPal too, Cash App, Venmo, all that good stuff. If you would like to join us or help support the show that way. What's the bigger upset? Stanford beating Southern Cal in 07 or Vanderbilt beat? It's Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. You know, I don't even know where to go from on that, sir. And I'm not trying to be a smart ass to you, but it's like, really? In the end, that is silly, to say the least. That loss to Vanderbilt. And you know what? The players that are out there, they should be ashamed of that. Because the ones that were there before that played for Saban last year, they know. Okay? And they know what it takes to actually win. And they know that that's not the standard that Alabama looks forward to. All right, so there's the link if you'd like to join the show. As always, you guys are more than welcome. Put it out there one more time. Somebody asked about a live show yesterday. I'm going to get with Cale and talk to him and see if he can do it. If I put a live show together, would you guys show up for that? Let me know in the comments section. Rob, as an SEC bias, joins us. What is going on, sir?
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How the hell are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I saw Dylan Stewart was a mid-season All-American. Did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, I wish. Man, I think he's going to be special. I don't know what you think, but he's a beast, man. Let's just be honest. But I wanted to ask about some of y'all's Clemson freshmen. I know y'all got a couple starting. And I saw Sammy Brown, I think, was on that list too. How's he been playing that pretty well for y'all?
I mean, he rotates in and out. Clemson has depth at linebacker. Barrett Carter is a preseason, I think second or third team All-American at linebacker. So for him to get in there and get snaps, I think is a big deal. But it's when I'm going to look forward to Sammy Brown is next season, like game 4 of next season. It just seems like once you get a year and a half under your belt, that's when you've completely blossomed as a player and, start dropping hammers. What he's doing now is just great. Just great. So.
Well, here's another thing I've been thinking about is if Clemson's offense, let's say they keep the same momentum throughout the season. I mean, I don't see a better time for Garrett Riley to start looking for a head coaching job than then. I mean, what do you think about that? You think that might be the jumping off point for him?
I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to be this guy. Dabo Swinney said something about Chad Morris at one point because everybody was in love with Chad Morris. And I remember standing at a presser that Dabo Swinney was doing I can't remember after what game it was, but He said something to the effect of someone asked the question about the Chad Morris offense and how that blah, blah, blah. And Dabo Swinney just said, look, it is the Clemson offense. Chad Morris runs it, but it is the Clemson offense. Now, some people took that as Dabo Swinney trying to shit on Chad Morris. It's not what he was doing. What he was saying is that Clemson has an offensive identity. They're taking pieces from what Chad Morris knows and making themselves better. That's what he was saying. Okay? And I think that Dabo Swinney has an idea of what he wants to do on offense, and whoever comes in here is going to have the same principles of what he wants. Okay? A lot of it's running from the shotgun and things like that. All right, Clemson's not going to turn into a power eye offense, etc. They're just not going to do that. They're not going to run option plays. They're not going to do that. All right, a lot of their stuff is going to hinge upon the fact that they want big, tall wide receivers that can go in jump balls, and they want good, fast slot receivers and good tight ends to catch the ball. And in theory, they want to run and punish you on the ground to open up the rest of it. That's the Clemson offense. So if he wants to leave, then go. That's how I feel about that, because you could stay and learn more from a great coach and be the highest paid assistant, one of the highest paid assistants in the country, or you can go and coach, I don't know, Tennessee Tech.
No, he wouldn't get if the Clemson offense keeps the same momentum as the past couple of games, he'll for sure get a P4 job offer.
All right, well then go coach at
be like Arizona or something. I don't know, Kansas.
Arizona, wherever.
Kansas hadn't been the best.
Wherever. Pick your.
One thing I was thinking
It's better to be the offensive coordinator at Clemson than it is to fucking be a P4 school like, I don't know, North Carolina. I'll put them into the mix because their program's gone to shit. So
the thing with North Carolina that's odd is there's definitely good players in the state, and I mean, it seems like they can never put it together. You know, they don't really have any battles as far as NC State's not coming in and winning recruiting battles over North Carolina, but the final product is just never top as good as it should be, you know. But another thing I was thinking about, Rob, that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about is why aren't we letting old Don Shula call plays for us at this point?
Wait, for South Carolina?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would be.
What are you doing this weekend? You want to go call plays? You might do a better job than old Fred Flintstone there.
Hey, I don't listen.
Don't laugh at me, motherfucker. You know I'm right.
No, I'm saying I don't know.
Let's just make sure that we understand something here.
I want Don.
If you are not on the train right now of coaching is the problem at South Carolina, then you don't know much about the game of Hut. I can look at South Carolina's roster right now with the number of 4 and 5 star guys that you have there and the transfers that you brought in. You have an all SEC running back, a guy who was an electric player at Arkansas, a fucking shithole like Arkansas. He was a fucking all SEC running back. He was so good. He didn't really play much last year, and he was still voted like, a second-team running back this year just based off how good he was last year.
I'm thinking about
the year before. Yeah, well, I'm talking about Rocket Sanders.
No, I know.
That's what I'm talking about, but look.
But listen, the thing is, we got to solve the quarterback position. Until I see a quarterback who can make a fucking 5-yard out route pass, it's hard for me to.
Here's the thing. I'm tired of South Carolina fans trying to shove down my throat that Sellers is a good quarterback. He is not.
I'm saying the opposite.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about all of the other people that are saying, you know what? And I'm also tired of people telling me, stop being hard on them. They're just kids. They're making fucking millions in NIL money. They make enough money in NIL money that they can, they can deal with me tongue lashing them on YouTube here. Okay, it's not the whole adage of all they're getting is their blah 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 blah. No. Luke Bryant with a dumb comment. He thinks he's better than Klubnik. You, sir, are dumb. You support a quarterback who didn't have the balls to throw the ball in the end zone. Don't talk to me, sir.
That is fair. I mean,
enjoy those triple D tits from Arkansas nibbling on your face from Sam Pittman and shut up with that L.
Just an egregious decision. I mean,
no, it was a business decision. Yeah. I didn't want to nut up and throw the ball into the end zone because I don't have any fucking balls.
I mean, you looked at it and you thought maybe it could be a Vince Young moment, and then you realize it's Nico.
He should have thrown that fucking ball.
He didn't even get the first down.
Even if he fucking throws an interception, at least he tried.
Exactly.
He didn't even try. That's what you have. You have a bitch that doesn't try. And I can call him a bitch because he's getting paid $8 million by your Spire program to go out and be the 8th best quarterback as far as passing yardage in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start with me, sir.
Hey, say what you want about Sellers. Sellers at least lays it out into the end zone there.
Yeah.
Sellers got heart.
Sellers would have at least made first down. He would have thrown it. He probably would have thrown an interception.
Probably, but he would have thrown
it.
Yep, he would have thrown that motherfucker.
He's thrown it. Let's see what Daniel's coming to say here. Daniel, is Nico a nutless wonder? Go.
No, he's not.
Okay. He didn't make a business decision.
Rob, dude. Rob, listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Sure.
Yes, we lost. It was a bad loss, but
sure,
terrible loss actually.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Is your quarterback a nutless bitch? I mean, how does that work? How do you become a nutless bitch?
By running out of bounds on fucking 4th down, a yard short, and not throwing the ball.
So he didn't throw the ball in the end zone because he doesn't have. Yes. That doesn't even make any fucking sense, Rob.
He should have thrown the ball up, dude.
I agree. Everybody knows he should have thrown the ball. Everybody knows he should have thrown the ball. What does it have to do with being nutless?
Well, you think he just didn't want to record the INT?
I tell you what makes him nutless.
Yeah, I would have rather him throw a pick in the end zone. I would have rather him throw a pick in the end zone.
The game's over anyway. Game's over anyway.
Yeah,
You're out
I mean, you got to throw it, but
nutless is he's seen the Arkansas defender coming at him, and if he goes to extend, he's going to take a hell of a shot out of bounds. He made a business decision and said, "No, I don't want any of that." And
I don't agree, but
he did. He ended the game running backwards, though, Daniel. We have to acknowledge that he did end the game running backwards.
Well, he didn't end it running backwards. He gained yards.
I know, but then he ran backwards out of bounds.
He ran backwards, sir. He advanced but deterred.
Yeah, I mean he should have threw the ball. That was a young dumb quarterback mistake, reminiscent of Joe Milton's stupid ass against Ole Miss years ago.
Hey, don't you besmirch my quarterback, damn it!
Oh, Jesus. Is he actually playing for New England?
Hell no, dude. He's so far down the depth chart. He might even be on the practice squad.
He should.
If he plays, it's dark days in New England. Let's just put it that way.
It was dark days in Tennessee when he played. Everybody was on his dick until he started playing. Then they're like, "Oh my God, he sucks."
Daniel, you do have to admit, Milton got the Nico hype before that season, so that's why all of us are so upset at y'all.
The first season he came in, he was the starter or whatever, and God, you'd have thought
he got beat out. He got beat out. He got beat out by. Look, Hendon Hooker, and I will give Josh Heupel credit for this. People think I rip on Josh Heupel. Josh Heupel took a guy that was on the woodpile at Virginia Tech, and he was basically told at Virginia Tech, "You will never play big-time college football," and he developed him into a really, really good SEC quarterback. Mm-hmm. So give Josh Heupel credit for that. But under that, though, he took that guy and developed him because he knew that Milton was the shits.
Yeah,
that's
Milton
the big
sucked.
thing of it.
Yeah, it sucks because I think Nico is going to be a good quarterback. Tennessee's got a lot more problems than.
Realistically, I'm not trolling you here. What do you think their problem is? Because I think it's a lack of toughness. I don't think you're very tough.
I think their two starting tackles right now are playing like complete dog shit. The kid from LSU, Hurd, he's fucking big, fat, and out of shape, and lazy as fuck. The dude sucks.
That's not tough. He's not very tough then.
Then Campbell, he had a terrible first half, and then kind of picked it up in the second half. But a lot of it's play calling. I'll be honest. Play calling's bad as well.
Under that logic, maybe I should give
play
Nico,
calling is the
hold
whole.
on, let me finish here, sir. Maybe I should give Nico a bye because maybe if your offensive tackles weren't lazy pieces of shit like you said they were, maybe Nico was just getting hit all damn game and it was like, fuck, I don't want to take another shot. Maybe that's part of it. So maybe we'll give Nico a pass on that.
Yeah, that Landon Jackson owned Lance Hurd for the entire game.
Well, then by that logic, since Lenora Sellers is the most sacked quarterback in the country, maybe
it doesn't help.
Maybe he's Tom Brady in the pocket, and we just
probably not. But
to be fair,
it helps when a young quarterback has time to throw the football.
But for real, Daniel,
to be fair, hold on with Sellers. Hold on. To be fair with Sellers, your stupid ass coaching staff has him only with 10 carries less than Rocket Sanders has on the season. Sellers is taking hits every damn play, and a lot of it's due to the fact that your coaching staff is making him take them. So he makes it. If he makes it to the Clemson game, I would be stunned. I would be absolutely stunned. And I'm not saying I want the kid to get hurt. I'm just saying they're putting him in a spot where he's probably going to get hurt because he's taking too many damn hits.
I think he's built for it tough, man. We're playing the game with 2 running backs. I don't think he's a true quarterback at all.
Maybe that's part of your problem is that you're not giving the ball to a guy who is all SEC caliber in Rocket Sanders.
He gets the ball. It's just we can't get gaps.
He should get 25 carries a game. He should.
Well,
I'm sorry.
The thing with him is, can his knee handle 25 carries a game at this point?
So you're saying that he's hurt? Is that where you're going?
He just had a surgery on his ACL this past offseason. Definitely not ideal for 25 touches a week in the SEC.
Well, then give him 15 and give 10 to Attaway.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'd be more than fine with that. I think that's what we've been doing. We just, when it's time to pass the ball, we can't pass the fucking ball.
No, your quarterback's leading in rushes, sir. Pretty much every game. You can go look at the stats.
Sellers is a big motherfucker. He can probably take some hits.
He's 6'5", I think.
And he looks huge, like his fucking body mass. He looks like a big dude. See, that's like Nico. Nico's not a big dude. Nico's 6'6", but he looks like a fucking pencil. So can't run him like that. I mean, you could, but you're gonna get him hurt.
Nico looks like he could be a 2-guard for the basketball team. Like,
he does. I've long thought this.
That's not me being disrespectful. I'm just saying his frame. He looks like he could be out there running the point for Rick Barnes this fall.
And he's so tall. I just feel like he's one little. It may be even a dirty hit, but just how tall and skinny he is, he just doesn't have much support in his legs. I hope that doesn't come back in the.
I hope it don't either.
In the future.
They better stop.
They didn't make him put on weight already. Yeah. I mean, Dylan Stewart added like 50 pounds.
I think Nico was 190 coming out of high school, and I think he's like 210 now. So he has put on weight, but you can't really tell it.
No, you can't. I just actually saw a high school video of him. He looked just as fucking skinny as he did going out there versus Arkansas.
Yep.
But
I want to address Will's comment here. One bad game in week 6 and your career is over with. Sir, we have been told by the Tennessee faithful that this guy is the second fucking coming. They were selling like Lays online.
They still are. This is on the apparel brand.
Whatever. They were selling those online.
I ordered one.
His own. Do you have one? Get the fuck
I ain't got one yet. I ain't got one yet, but it's coming.
Jesus.
It's coming.
You're gonna. At least you're honest enough to admit that. But they're selling these Lays online and on him. He's got his own fucking line of Lays within the damn Tennessee program. When that happens, and we hear that your NIL program is giving him $8 million, and he's 8th in passing yards in the conference, and he is going to get heat, sir.
And Rob, I would say it has to be said. It has to be said. This past week, Lenoris played so bad he could get benched this past week, and he still beat Nico in every statistical category. But all we heard all year.
I wonder what the attempts are, like the passing. I know because Nico, his passing attempts are like down, which is a lot to do with.
Hold on,
pull it up. Pull it up.
I had those.
Pull the Arkansas and the Ole Miss numbers.
If you look, follow me on Twitter at Rob Sounds Good. I tweeted those out earlier today, and said, "Look what $8 million a year will get you in NIL money." 8th ranked in passing yards in the conference. But hold on, because I looked it up, and if we're going to be fair to him, which I'm all about being fair in addition to trolling, because trolling is fun. But if we look at, all right, so complete leaders here. As far as yards, he's 8th overall with 1,050 yards. He has half of the total yards that Jackson Dart does. Jackson Dart's at 2,100 yards. He's number 1. Here's the other thing that's interesting, though. He has 117 attempts. Jackson Dart has 127 completions. Wrap your head around that for a second.
Yeah, it's a lot of running the fucking
Nico
football.
Throw the fucking football. He's 78 for 117, completing 66% of his passes. You have to put some of this on the Tennessee coaching staff because they're not giving him the opportunity to shine. In their mind, they think that they can do what they did at Oklahoma, which is lean on the defense and not let him have the opportunity to make mistakes to put them in a hole. And they think that they can come out and win like that. I think that's what's happening. And you got to give some of this shit has to go to the Tennessee coaching staff.
Well, I agree. And in the NC State game, if you notice, see a lot of these teams, the blueprint's out to beat Tennessee. You run a 3-3-5 defense, you bring the nickel down, and you blitz him. You blitz him, you blitz him, you blitz him, you blitz him. In the 3-3-5. Every team's done it. NC State did it, set the blueprint for Oklahoma. Oklahoma did it. Then they set the blueprint for Arkansas. Because see, Arkansas's they run a lot of 4-2-5, but they didn't Saturday. They ran 3-3-5 and 3-2-6 all game because they found the fucking blueprint to stop Tennessee's offense. Now, in the NC State game, Tennessee ran a lot of – and the Oklahoma game, they ran a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends, which helped. It helps blocking-wise, but then you ain't got 3 receivers on the field, and that's Heupel's MO is the 3-receiver set. So he's going to have to figure out a way. Well, he's going to have to fucking get a tackle that can fucking block somebody.
Well, there's that too, but here's a thought. Why not do what you're good at? And I know that sounds like it's fucking silly here, but the Tennessee offense is great when he can stand back there and look what Hooker said. It's simplified. You go up there and there's 12 plays. You flip them. It's 24 plays. You can make the quick read, hit the slant, soften up the defense a little bit, and then run the ball. That
was a problem against Arkansas. I didn't see one slant route, one drag route, one 10-yard stop. Pitch.
Whatever happened to the delay? Whatever happened to the delay too? They don't seem to run that. All this shit with them blitzing him, like you were talking about. Yeah, you want to end that shit? Give the fucking ball off in a delay. Or
running back screen.
Let him just run.
Do you think
just have the quarterback run? Give him 5 carries like that. They will stop that fucking blitzing.
They run that shuffle play with Sampson a lot, where he'll run up to the line and turn around. They'll shuffle pass it to him, and he gets 10, 20 yards and. They didn't run that once. The play calling was atrocious against Arkansas. All their routes were 15 and 20 yards down the field, yet you had a tackle that couldn't block a dude for 2 seconds. Like, that's just not going to fucking work.
I think that we should give players criticism now, especially in the NIL era. But I am more harsh on the Tennessee staff because they cost you that game more than anything with the bullshit play calling that they had.
Yep.
And the beating that you're taking from motherfuckers like me and everybody else that are laughing at you, Uncle Lou accosting your fans in a fucking casino.
Yeah, Uncle Lou about got his ass whooped in a casino.
Hey, do you think that Nico sitting out so many second halves is slowing down his progression as a quarterback?
Yeah, but could be. On the other hand, though, if he goes out and gets hurt and you're up 34-3, then people are going to be like, why the fuck did you have him out there?
But as a freshman, you got to get reps, right? Surely.
Yeah, he needs a lot more reps. I think he's going to be all right. I think we'll see how the rest of this year goes.
Look, he may be okay, but on the other hand, you can see where if the coaches don't tailor the playbook to him, he can look like a fucko. And that's with any player. Any player.
Yeah.
So are you saying he's a system quarterback, Rob?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that if you don't give him an opportunity to do things that he's good at, he's going to look like a system quarterback. Heupel should be running that shit as fast as fucking possible. And just telling him, look, you've got 6 plays that we know that we're going to run. If we don't get up there fast enough, run one of those 6, and I'm not going to be mad at you. As long as you get those 6 plays off and we get positive yardage, I'm not going to be pissed at you.
Well, it should be easier to do that now with the mics. Should be a lot easier to do that now.
I would love to see him where he knows, all right, I've got these 6 golden plays that I know I'm going to have. They're going to give me plays anyway, but I just get to go and just go. And Squirrel White's going to do this for me. And, you know, my slot receiver over here is going to do something for me. My running back's going to block and pick up for whatever my shitty offensive tackle is going to do. I'd love to see that because they'd probably run up and down the damn field on everybody.
Yeah. Well,
but for some reason, they're playing like they're Unix and they don't have any faith in him. That's
their last drive, when they threw the long pass and completed it with like 30-something seconds left, they were going tempo as fast as they could. But big, fat, fucking lazy-ass Lance Hurd was walking to the line of scrimmage while everybody else was up there ready to snap the ball. They had to wait on his big ass to get up there before they could snap
that motherfucker will be running in the damn stands.
Yeah,
every
you
day.
damn right. I'd have that motherfucker be puking right now. He'd still be practicing if I was a fucking coach.
Fuck that. You if you're walking up to, I don't give a fuck. Unless you're dead, you run to the goddamn line.
Especially in that offense.
Yeah, with the tempo that we're trying to utilize and trying to
you see what Vandy Dandy just said?
What did he say? He says Vanderbilt will have a better record than Tennessee in 2 weeks.
Who's Tennessee got? Wait, who does Tennessee have for the next 2 weeks? Who does Vandy
They've got
have for
Kentucky
the next
and who is it? Kentucky and I don't know who the game is after that. Help me out, Vandy Dandy. I don't really pay attention to your football program because generally your fans don't pay attention to it either.
Tennessee has Florida and Bama. So he's saying you lose Florida and Bama. Which, I mean, Florida, I mean, that's the monkey on your back.
Well, they've got so they've got Kentucky. That's this week. Yeah. So it's Florida after that. Okay. Oh no, they got
Kentucky
Florida.
And Florida.
No, he says Ball State.
Hey, they got Kentucky, Ball State. Y'all have Florida and Alabama.
So they're gonna go 1-1. They're gonna lose to Kentucky. All that bullshit's gonna come back down to fucking reality, and then they'll beat Ball State because I will give Vandy credit. They're not the Vandy. They're not your grandpa's Vanderbilt, but
they lost to Georgia State. Let's not.
I agree. So
let's not make it out like they're the prom queen because they went and took a shower and now their vagina.
We might both be 1-1. I honestly don't see us losing to Florida next week. I think that if you can't come out fucking just mad as fuck, ready to beat somebody, it's in Knoxville. If it was in Gainesville, I'd probably pick us to lose.
Yeah, if you were in Gainesville, and by the way, that's another thing. Until you guys beat Florida down there, I'm betting Florida every time when they're in Gainesville.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Both of these next two games are in Knoxville, though.
Because what was
Florida
it?
And Bama
was it last year? You had no business losing that game. You were the better team playing against a bunch
try
of
being there,
and you lost.
Well, we had no business losing either.
How did you walk out of that shit? That had to be
Oh my god, dude! I hate a lot of teams. I don't like Bama. I don't like Georgia. I don't like Kentucky. South Carolina. I like Jackpot and Rob as the SEC bias, so I don't hate them. But fucking Florida, fuck them motherfuckers. Fuck them all. I hope they all get fucking.
What about Octavian?
The flu before the fucking game. Octavian's a fucking idiot. Fuck them. I hope we fight them after the game and whoop their fucking ass, and I hope we beat them during the game and whoop their fucking ass.
Somebody said earlier, and since I've got you two here, we'll go with this here. In the next 3 weeks, either Alabama or Tennessee is going to go 1-2 over the last 3 weeks because they both lost this week.
Yeah, play each other. Yeah.
So they're one of them's probably going to go at least 1-2.
That's true.
Fuck.
Which then makes whoever that is.
Who picked that at the beginning of the season? Holy shit. Holy shit with all that. So
I
don't know who's going to do it,
standings.
but
Texas
A&M's on top.
3-0. Holy shit. Texas.
Texas is. I forgot about Mizzou. Fuck Mizzou.
By the way, just to recall something here. At the beginning of the season, I took a lot of shit from people because I said that SMU would have an inside shot for the ACC title. They have one loss on the season, 19-16 to BYU. They went to Louisville and beat them.
Yeah, and BYU's not a bad team this year. They're actually
BYU's decent.
They housed fucking Florida State at their place. They get a bye week this week, and I'm looking at their schedule here because the rest of the way they don't have Miami. So their schedule the rest of the way for them to get to Charlotte, they've got Stanford on the road. The tree sucks. They play at Duke. They've got Pittsburgh, which might be tough, followed by Boston College at Virginia and Cal. They have 0 ACC losses.
Yeah.
Well,
Boston College may be a sneaky game. Is it at Boston College?
No, that's a home game.
Hey, Bill O'Brien can jump up and bite you in the ass, Rob. Let's just be honest. Bill O'Brien,
Can he really?
he's an X's
He's
and
got
O's
he's
guy.
got 2 losses
And
on the season. So.
Cal should have beat Miami. They fucking shit the bed.
Yeah.
Cal should have beat Miami. Now, who do you think's more likely though at this point to make the playoffs between Tennessee and Alabama?
Hey.
What's that? Who does Alabama?
I'll read
it all depends on who wins that game, Tennessee and Alabama. Whoever wins that game, it's got the best chance of making.
Well, and here's another team not a lot of people have been talking about is I think LSU has a damn good shot to make the playoffs this year. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they won out. They've been fucking putting belt to ass lately.
Who have they played though lately outside of they played South Carolina and then who?
They beat the hell out of UCLA after they played South Carolina.
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, they're terrible.
LSU. They got Ole Miss. This will be their first
got
test.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, this will be their test right here.
Well, yeah, this week's a knockout game for them. So whoever loses that game is.
Yeah. I think is it at LSU or at Ole Miss?
It's at LSU.
And I'm taking Brian Kelly in that one. Personally, I'm taking LSU. I don't care what the points are. I'm assuming they're going to be favored. But
yeah, I'm sure. Probably. I think it was in the challenge. Rob had it plus 2.5 or minus 2.5 LSU. I think something like that.
I think he's about to pull it up. I think his son walked in.
Anyway, I that is a knockout game this week down at LSU. I completely agree with
What's
you.
What's the spread, Rob? Minus 2.5 LSU.
Yeah, something like that. It's within a field goal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll probably be a close game to the wire.
You want to talk about somebody who's going to lose their gizzards if Ole Miss wins that game, then Lane Kiffin is going to literally just start showing his penis to people because he's going down to LSU and won. And then if we look at their schedule the rest of the way, they've got LSU, Oklahoma. They do have Georgia, but other than that, the rest of their schedule is hot dog water.
Right.
They're losing to Georgia. They're not beating Georgia. But I definitely do think you'll see him at some college bars if they win that one.
I think they're guaranteed to go 10-2, which will get them in the playoffs.
Yeah, 10-2 gets you in.
You don't think with a late Georgia loss would knock you off? I mean, that would be a late loss. Those late losses are going to kill these 2-loss teams.
They have 2 more games after that, so they'll be fine.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Goodbye, baby.
I thought you were saying they were late.
Nope, they play them.
That's the thing with Tennessee. Isn't that Georgia game late for y'all?
Yeah, it's it is, and it's at Georgia. We'll probably lose that one, so we really need to beat Bama. Bama's almost a must-win because you're probably not beating Georgia in Sanford. Right. So Tennessee almost has to win out until that game. So we'll see how it goes.
Yes, you got Alabama on the 19th, and then you got Georgia on the 5th of November. That's like knockout Saturday there because, no, it's not. The 16th it's different. I'm sorry. Forget what I'm saying. That was stupid.
How the hell is Oklahoma still ranked, by the way?
I don't know. They've only lost 1 game.
I know, but it's just been a struggle fest all year. Don't they have the worst offense in the SEC right now?
I'm telling you, watch out. This Red River rivalry that you watch, they'll give Texas all they want Saturday.
Is that this week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, shit. That'll be a good one.
They'll give Texas all they want.
It feels like this is the first good slate of games we've had all year. First real good slate of games. I'm excited, man.
Even Kentucky Vanderbilt is a big game when you look at what Vanderbilt just did. So.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if you heard yesterday. I already bought my tickets to go see the #1 team in Tennessee when South Carolina takes the field on November 9th.
I'm disappointed in you, South Carolina fans. None of y'all are going down there with Jackpot. It's just Jackpot and his son. None of y'all are going to go down there.
Them tickets are like $200 each, Rob.
I don't give a shit. You fucking sit with no power all the time over there. Just go get you a ticket and go ride with Jackpot. I bet if you called Jackpot right now and said, Jackpot, I want to go with you to Alabama. That way there'll be 4 South Carolina fans there. He'd probably let you ride with him or something.
I don't doubt it. I just can't afford $200 to go see get belt the ass by an angry Alabama team at home.
Yeah, that loss for them really did come at a bad time for South Carolina. Because,
fuck this.
Yeah, because now they're going to be pissed. Yeah. Maybe they'll still. I mean, their defense isn't that good though.
I don't see Alabama as the kind of team. Yeah, I don't see Alabama as the kind of team to fold. Granted, there's no Saban, but I don't think they're going to fold after a loss like this. They just don't seem like that kind of squad. That's why I really don't give us much of a chance to win. But maybe we cover.
Well, we'll take up some more of this tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining the show. I appreciate it as always, guys.
See y'all.
See you guys later on.
Horns down.
All right, there we go. Anyway, we'll talk with Jackpot. We're gonna look at doing the live show. We'll see how that's gonna come out. We appreciate you guys as always. Thanks for checking out the show. Be sure to like up there and subscribe. We got a new record for folks in here today, so that's awesome. All right, appreciate you guys. We'll see you later on.